So it was a good time at the Oklahoma City. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ken and I'm on a journey to lose as much weight as I possibly can so I can become a fat guy no more. Well, holy Moses, we're in the middle of August already. This summer is flying by. Yep, I talk about it all the time. It is amazing to me just how fast time has gone. I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a moment. But before I jump into everything, I want to say thank you for coming by and checking out this video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. You know, all those things that I'm supposed to say as a YouTuber, right? You know what to do. Right down below. Hit that for me if you would. I'd appreciate it. And give it a thumbs up while you're at it. Well, time has really been flying. I know I haven't been putting up a whole lot of videos. No real reason other than it seems one day bleeds into the next and the next and the next. And all of a sudden it's been a couple weeks and here we are, right? I have literally just been out enjoying my best life as I can. Trying to do what I can do while it's still summertime, while that sun is still shining outside. Which of course here in Oklahoma, it's going to be a while before we really turn cold. I mean, cold for us, but you know what I'm saying. So, been out doing things like August 1st, went to a game with my bestie and her family. It was Harry Potter night at the ballpark. So yes, I had to try a butter beer. I'm a Harry Potter nerd and I've never had one. I haven't gone to Universal Studios. I haven't done any of those things yet. Maybe one of these days. We'll see. There's something very Harry Potter-ish coming up in my future, but we'll talk about that in a couple videos. So yeah, looking forward to that a lot. But we went to the game. It was fun as always. Love going to see the Oklahoma City Comets play right down in downtown Oklahoma City. And this time it was her husband, one of her daughters, and a friend of her daughters that got to come with us. So we had a great time and their first time at the ballpark. So always exciting to share that experience with somebody. And then 1 week ago today on August 8th, that was my wife's 25th anniversary at Costco Travel. Well, at Costco, period. But it was also Costco Travel's 25th anniversary. So we celebrated with work a little bit, and especially for my wife there. One of the things Costco does is they give you a silver badge, you know, for your badge to wear in the building. You get a silver one when you hit 25 years, and she was presented hers the following Monday when she was in the building. So that's kind of cool. And then they gave her this ginormous cake, and it was so big, even pretty much everybody having a piece of it. There was a ton that she brought home. So I made sure I had a little bit of it. And then I sent her a text message the following day that said, how about I cut you off a slab of it, wrap it up, and then I throw the rest of it away. I felt bad getting rid of that cake, but I also didn't want it in my house so I wouldn't eat it. Yeah, that's not a good thing. I enjoyed some of it, and then we got rid of it. It's just what you have to do, honestly, at times, and that's what we did. But we were able to celebrate that with her. It's a big, big milestone, especially when you're working for Costco. A few other things that come along with it. So that's very exciting too, and I'm very proud of her for making it, surviving 25 years with Costco Wholesale. For reference, in October, I will hit 12 years. So I'm not even halfway to where she is right now. So that's just crazy for me to think that I will be in my mid 60s if I'm there on my 25th. And if I'm alive, I will probably be working that day. A couple other things that we did. The wife and I went to the Oklahoma City Museum of Art. She asked if I would be willing to go now that I can walk more. And she finally wanted to go down there. And I've never been there. Neither one of us had ever been there. And so we thought, well, it'd be a great day to do it. So we did that last weekend. It was a lot of fun, honestly. It's kind of getting me ready to do more museums. And there will be more. There will definitely be more. And so that was fun, getting to walk around there. And one of the things that was really exciting was right inside the door, they have a Dale Chihuly exhibit. Now, if you don't know who Dale Chihuly is, he's very famous back home in Washington. He used to have a workshop up around Stanwood, just north of Seattle, Marysville area, where we used to live in Marysville. So it wasn't too far from where we lived there. He does glass blowing work, right? All sorts of colors. Let me show you a few of those pictures here, some of his work. It's just absolutely fantastic. I loved getting to see a little piece of home almost 2,400 miles away. That's just absolutely nuts. But it was pretty cool. And then we walked around the rest of the museum. The main reason we were there is they had an exhibit of Ansel Adams photos. And my wife really wanted to see it. So we went and took our time walking through there. His black and white photos, man, especially in Yosemite. Oh, some of them are just fantastic. I mean, it's so crazy. I wonder what somebody like him would think about like people like me taking pictures on an iPhone, now. I mean, I wonder if he would be into that or if he'd be like, that's an abomination. I don't know. But his photos were absolutely fantastic. So that was a lot of fun. They even had a Rodin model there, a bronze sculpture, I guess it would be considered. That was kind of neat to get to see. And then just a whole bunch of other things. Really looking forward to getting to spend more time going to museums now that I can get out and walk and do those things. So it was a really good time at the Oklahoma City Museum of Art. The following day, my wife asked me if I wanted to go out clothes shopping or specifically looking for winter clothes. But, there were a few other things that we saw that I had to get, like this shirt right here, right? Of course I had to get this. How could I not? It was $2 for one, $2, right? And it's a 3X, and I think it fits me pretty well, actually. So a little tighter than I really kind of like overall, but I'm okay in it. And for $2, why not? I've talked about it before. One of our favorite places to go clothes shopping is a place called Half of Half. There is a lot of, well, not a lot, several of them around the country, probably more here east, I think. I know there's one in Dallas area that we went to before too. We got two of them here in Oklahoma City, one on the north side, one on the south side, and we hit them both. One of my favorite finds was a pair of Wrangler jeans. Now, I have never, ever worn Wranglers in my life. I have never been able to fit into Wranglers, period. And I wasn't going to pay the money for Wranglers, you know what I'm saying? So I found a pair of Wranglers that I didn't try on when I was there, but I knew I would be close to wearing them. And so I went ahead and got them. You could see here from this tag what the price is, but they had a sale going on. And so if you look at this slip, it tells you exactly how much I paid for those brand new Wranglers. Size 48, yeah, $2. $2, right? I believe it was $2. And so, yeah, for a brand new pair of Wranglers, that's just insane. And so I did try them on when I got home, and they are just a little bit too tight. So I've got a little bit to go. Hopefully, within the next couple months, by the end of the year for sure, I'll be able to wear those comfortably. And that's amazing. We found a couple other pairs of pants that work great for me too, that fit really well. One of them's a Wrangler and the other one is Lee jeans. Yeah, Lee, my last name, right? So I've never worn a pair of Lee jeans either. Well, now I've got a pair. Black, I think those ones were black, or maybe the Wranglers were black. I don't know. Anyways, so either way, I have two pairs of Wranglers that I'll be able to wear here soon. Well, one I can now, one I will soon. And then I got the pair of Lee jeans also. I think we paid for everything that we got. I think we ended up paying like $80, and we got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I bought some shirts that I know I'm not going to be able to wear right now, but I really liked them. So why not? Put them in the closet. They'll be there when I get to that point. And of course, this one, I am Kenneth. Of course, I had to get it. So that was fun. I don't usually like going clothes shopping. I've talked about it before. It's probably been a while since I've talked about that, but I really don't like going clothes shopping. But the wife wanted to go, and we had a great time at the museum the day before. So I said, what the heck? Worked a half day, and we went shopping. All right, so the main topic on this video that I wanted to discuss is why I feel I've been doing what I've been doing. For quite a while, my weight's been kind of doing this, and then I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm not getting on that damn scale because I wanted to go by feel, just how I was feeling, and I felt good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've got my normal aches and pains and all that crap, right? But I mean, overall, I felt great. You've seen me talk about it. I keep going out and doing stuff. Got a trip planned for next month, just less than a month away with my bestie. We're going to go up to Kansas City, and then we're going to shoot over to Springfield, Illinois, and bring Route 66 all the way home. That's a 4-nighter, I believe it is. So looking forward to that. I'm always doing something. If it's not going and walking Costco, it's going to the ballpark, going to a basketball game, which, by the way, the NBA schedule dropped yesterday. Ooh, can't wait for that to tip off. It's so weird for me. But yes, I absolutely cannot wait for the NBA season to tip off. Really looking forward to it. But I'm always out doing something, staying busy, and I have felt amazing lately. But I can feel with my body that it's not, the scale is just not being friendly. And we've talked about it a little bit. And yes, I have weighed twice since my last update, and I'll give you those weights coming up here in a little bit. But it really wasn't until my wife said something to me, I don't know, 6-7 weeks ago, maybe. She said, And completely out of the blue, I mean, it was just like right out of left field, right? She said to me, I don't think the compound is working for you. And now I've been taking the compound version of this medication for quite a while. And it got me thinking. So I went back, started looking at statistics, looking at different things. Now, I haven't kept the amount of stats that I used to do, right? Like my spreadsheet and all that stuff, if you remember back to that. I stopped all of that. I felt it was just getting to be a little too overwhelming as my weight has slowed down coming off, right? I didn't want to focus purely on that. And I still don't. I absolutely still don't. And that's part of the reason why I haven't been weighing as often, is because there comes to a point where, I've said it many times before, the body is going to do what the body's going to do. And so if I can do what I need to help it out, it's going to do what it's going to do. And so some weeks that might be bigger drops, some weeks maybe not. Then again, as we'll find out here in a little bit, maybe none at all. I was really looking at stuff, and I found that the first three vials of the compound that I got, the first two were from Hollandale Pharmacy down in Florida. Did great, lost pretty good weight. The third one, I didn't put a name on it. I can't remember where it was from. I can't at all remember where that one was from. I didn't tag it in my notes, but did really good on it. And that's when I got down to my lowest that I've ever been as an adult, right? So that was down to 323. And that was plumb back in, was that February or March? So it's been a while, been quite a while, honestly. With those first three vials, I was like, wow, this is so much cheaper. And it worked amazing. Well, then they switched where it was coming from on me. I was going through Join Fridays or Fridays, whatever you want to call it, right? Going through them, and they switched it up on me. The first vial that came to me that I really think didn't work well for me at all was from someplace in Buffalo. And I remember being like, did they just send me saline, some kind of water or something? Because this is doing nothing. I thought, well, let's check the next one, no big deal. Well, the next shipment came from a place called Link Pharmacy. I think they're in Texas, if I remember right. And it didn't do much at all for me either. Just kept trudging along, taking it like I did, blah, 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 and just kept. And then that's when you start looking back on everything and you go, okay, something's amiss somewhere. And I truly feel it is that not all compounds are built alike. And with a company like Fridays, or probably any of them, I don't know, honestly. I only have the experience with those from Fridays. I did ask, hey, can I get the medication sent to me from one of these other places like Hollandale? And they said, no, we don't ever know where it's going to come from, so you can't specify it. At least that's what they told me. Well, you're pretty much at their mercy of wherever they're going to send it from. And the last several kept coming from a place called Link Pharmacy. When my wife said to me, I really don't think that the compound is working for you, that really got me thinking, is that what it is? And then I really went back and I put even more time into thinking about all of this. And this is something I've wanted to talk about for a while. And it was kind of like that light bulb, bing, going off. And I'm like, yeah, it was right around that second vial from that pharmacy that the food noise started coming back. And it has been back and been loud and been pissed off for quite a while now. And that's been a struggle for me. And it's not really something I've talked about a whole lot, but it's been there. I mean, it has absolutely been there. And I didn't really think about it. I just thought, okay, I know that if I have something sugary or if I have something salty, that those things naturally make you want to have more. Sugar begets sugar. That just makes you want to have more. And that's why I had to get rid of that cake like I was talking about, because I didn't want it. And I didn't want it to send me down some rabbit hole that I shouldn't be going down. So basically, I just kept moving forward, trying to do what I could to try to offset those food noises in my head telling me, eat it, eat it, eat it. Sometimes that was having, more vegetables. I've been, for the past couple months, I am addicted to broccoli. I mean, just absolutely addicted to broccoli. I've been getting, the big bags of frozen broccoli that's cut up, and I'll just throw them in with just about anything. Last night I did some brown rice ramen cooked some noodles, and then right when it was almost done, took a couple big handfuls of the broccoli, threw it into the water as well, got it good and cooked. I actually threw some edamame in with that too. Oh my goodness, that was so good. And then I drizzled some no salt sriracha on it from Well Your World. God, I love that stuff. Absolutely love that stuff. And so it's got a good heat to it and a really good flavor. That was dinner last night, but I love the broccoli in with that, so that was fantastic. But I've been trying to do things that are better fillers, right? That are low in calorie, of course, obviously, because I'm in agreement with my wife. I do not believe that the compound works for me anymore, or is it where it comes from? I'm not quite sure. I have zero control over where that comes from, so I decided to test my theory. I still have out in my fridge, well, had 7 different pens, zepbound pens, 12.5 milligram. And so I was curious what it would be like if I took one of those. They've got sometime late next year's expiration date on it, I think it is. So I've been keeping them in the reserves just in case, you know. And so I took one of those and the damn thing knocked me silly. I mean, the next day I was sick as a dog, which doesn't bother me because I kind of build that into my weekly schedule when I know I'm going to take a shot. But this one knocked me for a loop. Absolutely knocked me for a loop. And that was all right, like I said. And that week was a fantastic week. Food noise was still there, but it wasn't as bad. But it was definitely better. That brick in my stomach, right? That I like, that's one of the things I look for when I take these shots, is that brick in my stomach that, you know, okay, I don't have to eat all the time. I'm full. And then that's when I have to remind myself to eat. And I would far rather have to remind myself to eat than to go the other way with it. So those are the things that I look for the most. The food noise gone and the brick in my stomach to let me know this is working. And absolutely, with that 12.5 milligram shot, it worked fantastic for me. Well, that could be coincidence because I've mentioned this on Facebook, and of course I've gotten flamed by some people how, you know, oh, I get from Link Pharmacy and they're the greatest. Well, I'm not disparaging Link. I'm just saying whatever that mix is they use probably doesn't work for me, period. Because again, I can't say just pure compound because some earlier did, but what I got for the last several months just doesn't work for me at all. So where do we go from here? Well, there's only one thing I can do at this point. Next week, or actually the day after this video goes live, or 2 days after, whatever it is, next week. Next Thursday, I'll probably try to put this up on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. So next Thursday, I have an appointment with my doctor. I'm going to talk to her, see if she's got any suggestions on places to get, you know, the compound from. I keep hearing people talk about Red Rocks down in Texas. It's supposed to be good. I think there's one of those here in town as well. I'm going to see what she says, and if that doesn't pan out, then the next one is to go the Eli Lilly Direct and do the vials from them, the single-use vials. So it's not as much of a savings, but it is definitely a savings, and since that's the real deal, I think that would be the way to do it because I think I'm going to need something that's actually going to work. So I'm not going to go to some internet company and go through them. Again, if it works for you, that's fine. It absolutely hasn't been working for me, and that's the struggle I've been having. But for the price, I've kept pushing through it, and the fact that I've had a stockpile of it and I'm working through it. So what I've done is I've taken a shot of the regular pen, the zepbound pen. 1 week, the following week, I take a shot of the compound. So just like last night, 2 nights ago, I took a shot of compound, 12.5 milligrams worth. And so, yeah, it didn't really seem to affect me. I still feel that in my stomach, right? The brick, but it was there and I almost didn't take the shot because that would be my 4th week now consecutive. So pen, compound. And so I almost didn't do it because it was really strong, but I'm like, I don't want to mess things up. There should come a time where I can go back to skipping weeks again, but until I feel that it's worth doing, I'm not going to do it. I will keep that up. Pen, compound. So next week I'll take a pen until those are gone, or I've moved on to the single dose vials from Eli Lilly. And hopefully that'll get me back on track and get me going. And with that said, let's take a look at this week's numbers. So one thing that I don't really like about MyFitnessPal is I can't show a 2-week average, right? It's only week to week. If you use it and you know how to get it to where I can show it for 2 weeks, let me know. Comment down below if you would, please. So basically, the last 2 weeks have been pretty close to this. I think the previous week, my calories were about 1,300, pretty close to 1,300, where this week it was 1,149 per day. Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's a little bit low, but I'm all right. Again, that week started right after I took the pen, and those pens are even stronger. So typically the following day, I don't eat much, if anything at all. But then as the week goes on, I do. So I ended up averaging 1,149. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. Looking at the rest of the numbers, I came in at 81 grams of protein per day. Yeah, I'm okay. Again, missed a day basically in there, so we'll see. My fiber came in at 26 grams per day, a little bit low, like to be at least 35. My sodium was 721 milligrams per day, and my potassium came in at 5,907. That's low, but again, I didn't have much on that one day at least, so it's not too shabby, but I'll get that up, not worried about it. And I can see that my battery's about ready to die, so let me get that swapped out and I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so the numbers, not spectacular, but not bad at all, really. I mean, not too shabby, especially a week after taking a shot from the pen. So the real deal. So I'm not really complaining about that. So with that said, what has the scale said? Okay, so it's been quite a while since I weighed, and I finally did on August 2nd. I was going to do it on August 1st, but I knew I was going to the ball game on August 2nd. So I knew we'd probably have some stuff there, so I wanted to wait until the next day just to, the good, the bad, the ugly kind of thing. And so I got up before work the morning of August 2nd, and I got on the scale, and yeah, yep. I was actually quite surprised. Now, let me throw a caveat in here. Again, we went to the ball game. So that night we had dinner in the Legends Lounge, which is part of my season ticket package. So they have just various whatever to eat. I can't remember. I think it was burgers that night, so I didn't have it. But I had, all the side stuff. I can't remember what was there. There was tater tots and potato salad, regular salad, baked beans, those kind of things. So heavy salt stuff, right? And I did mention having that butter beer. Of course, I had it. And so that was god-awful sweet. Ugh. I hope like a real one from like Universal or wherever. I hope they're not as god-awful sweet as that thing was, because that would almost be disappointing. But it was very, very sweet. So, but I'm glad I had it. It was just one of those exciting things, being a Harry Potter nerd, that I finally got to try something like that. So that was fun. But I had it, and then I had 3 beers at the ballpark. Cannot go to that ballpark without having Grapefruit F5 from Coop Brewing here in town. It's just the thing. Always have to have that when I'm at the ballpark with people. I can go to games on my own and just drink water, but when it's a social thing, typically always have at least 1 or 2 of them, and I had 3 that day. So that's a decent amount of fluid that I threw on with all that salt just before it. So when I got on the scale on August 2nd, it read 370 pounds, 370, which put me 38 pounds up from my lowest back in February, 38 pounds. Now there's a couple things with that. Again, all that fluid the night before, whatever, but I don't feel it. I've talked about how my legs kind of get fluidy, watery, right, at times. During the day, like right now, this morning, don't feel that at all. Matter of fact, my braces are loose. I can put my hand down inside my braces, right? But later this afternoon, and especially on work days when I'm sitting back here, it just, yeah. I mean, it's like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. This just seems to make sense to me, but it's like all the fluid from the body just goes racing down, and then it hits that spot on my leg where the brace holds it tight, and it just kind of accumulates above it, right? So right above it is just really squishy, for lack of a better term. So it's like all the water pools up there, and then at night, after I got my feet up, my adjustable bed, the next morning, I'm fine. So I don't know. Does that make sense to anybody else? I hope it does. So it surprised me that I was up that high, because again, I don't feel it when I'm out walking around, when I'm going to the games, when I'm going shopping with the wife, when I'm doing all this other stuff. I don't feel it. I absolutely do not feel that at all. So that really kind of shocked me. So, I mean, it is what it is. And I think that that's, again, correlates back to the fact that the compound just simply is not, or was not, working for me, at least that I got in those last several vials. Again, I'm not trying to disparage the company that they came from. I'm just saying, for me, just doesn't seem to work worth a damn. So I'm getting away from it. I already canceled my Friday subscription quite a while ago after the wife and I were talking about this. That and the fact that I wanted to go up to 15 so I can, take smaller doses, effectively get a free shot that way, at least one. Well, they wouldn't do it. They would only put me up to 11. They actually bumped me down from 12.5 to 11.5 or 11.05 or whatever the hell it was. I can't remember. I can do the math because it's a 17 milligram and they told me to take 65% of that times 6.5. Yeah, 11.05 is what they moved me down to. And so then once they got it sent, they're like, yeah, we hope this is fine. I'm like, what the? No, absolutely not. One, that's not what I paid for. And two, that's not what I wanted. That was just another reason to cancel on them. So if you're using Fridays and they work great for you, well, keep it up. But for me, no, not at all. I couldn't imagine doing my job and selling somebody something and then calling them back later and go, hey, we know that you paid for an amazing trip to go, cruise in Europe. Instead, we're going to send you on a river cruise, through Chicago. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my river cruises in Chicago, but it's not the same. Absolutely not the same. And that's pretty much what they did to me. You could call that bait and switch if you want. You absolutely could, because that truly was. So done with them, and that's fine. I've already laid out my plan of what I'm going to do. I still have some of that compound left. So again, every other week with the shots that I've got. And by then, we'll be on to something else. Either something the doc decides with or back to Lilly Direct. Either way is fine with me. It's going to be a little more expensive to do the Lilly Direct, but if it works, that's a hell of a lot better than paying less and it not working. So, what's the old adage? You get what you pay for? Yep. Evidently, that's true. So since that day, I have really been tracking everything. I've gotten back into putting every single thing I have back into MyFitnessPal. Everything, even if I have a regular soda, which usually I do if I need calories. I know it's not a great way to grab calories. I like to do that, or an avocado. But even if I have a soda, regular soda, I will put that in there as well. And I have done that a few times. That cake for my wife's anniversary, didn't quite know how to put it in, so I did the best I could. So I got that in there as well. So pretty much everything goes into that. And as of this morning, not quite 2 weeks after that last weigh, today's the 15th, so that was on the 2nd. I am down to 352, which is 18 pounds down since that last weighing. So that puts me 20 pounds up from my lowest. That seems silly for me to say because I have a 3X t-shirt on. Look at this thing. You could see it. Look at that. It's kind of loose too. 3X. I almost fit into size 48 jeans, right? Wranglers. How am I up in weight since then? Something has shifted. Something has moved around. I have no idea because I feel great. The clothes are fitting good. But that scale is not telling me what it used to. And that's for sure. So I don't know. But it is coming down. Again, that's 18 pounds since the 2nd of August. Here through the morning of, again, this is August 15th. So 18 pounds in that time. Again, a decent amount of that was probably the fluid from the night before. I mean, not too much. I mean, those were 20-ounce beers. So what is it? I mean, at most, if you're just talking fluid to fluid, right? 20 times 3, 60 divided by 16. I mean, that's like 3.75 pounds roughly. So let's just call it 4 pounds of it. What could have been that fluid? I don't know. But either way, it's back in the right direction. It is coming back down now. And again, I think it's pen, compound. I think it's putting those pens in there that have really made the difference. Because even doing it in consecutive weeks with the compound, it didn't work. And I'm almost afraid to do consecutive weeks with the pen because the way I feel each one of those weeks when I actually take them, I mean, Yeah. So if there's still some in the body hanging around and I dose it again, whew, you know, then again, that could be a reason to bump back down, go back down to 10. I don't know. I don't think I'll do that. I would rather stretch it to a week, week and a half or whatever, stay on 12.5. You know, I've been on 12.5 for a long time. I'll have to look that up. I don't know, year and a half, almost 2 years, probably 2 years now. I've been on 12.5, some variants of it. You know, with the compound, there was a couple times that I dosed it to 15 just to see if it would help, and didn't really do anything extra for me. So I think I talked about it one time before where I took that 15 and expected it to knock me silly, and it did not a damn thing. I couldn't even have told you I took it. So again, I think it's the compound. And so I know that there's going to be several of you, if you're still watching this far, that are like, well, I take compound every week and it works great for me. Yeah, that I have been getting and that I've still had for a while and I still have a few shots left of, just hasn't been working worth a damn for me. I really wish that was something that really would have, you know, ding, a lot sooner. It's been a few weeks since we talked about it. Like I said, I think my wife mentioned it 6-7 weeks ago. And it took me some time to really put some thought into it. And then now, you know, switching like I've been doing. But I've had this appointment scheduled for the doctor for the 21st for a while now. So it's my annual checkup and we'll talk about that. I'm going to take my medal in from the 5K to show her because she hasn't seen that yet. I have not seen her since I did that back in April. So looking forward to celebrating that with her a little bit. But yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, that's exactly where we're at right now. So, you know, not the best of updates, but I finally updated you. So I'm not going to weigh again now until the end of the month. To be honest, probably September 1st, because September 2nd will be my 3-year anniversary. I'm not going to do a really big video like I did last year because, you know, it's not as exciting news. I'm going to be down, but I'm not going to be down as much. But there are things that I want to talk about. Big, exciting things coming up that, yeah, set my heart aflutter when I think about it. Because I'm like, am I really going to be doing these things? No. There's not another 5K yet. There's no 10Ks, nothing like that. Well, I mean, not race-wise, but there, yeah. So we'll talk about that on that week's video. Really excited about sharing those goals, those plans. You're right. I said goal. If you've been here all along, you know how I hate the word goal. Well, I hate the word goal when it comes to weight. But when it comes to other things, it don't bother me at all. Weight, I refer to them as milestones, and we'll pass them when I pass them. But goals, things that I want to do, things that I physically want to go do, I have no problem calling those goals. And I've got quite a few goals coming up for later this year that I am quite excited about and can't wait to share with you. But again, that's in the next video. And so be looking for it, September 2nd. My 3-year anniversary. But that's all I got for you now. I am going to go and do some meal prep. I've got some beans in the Instant Pot right now. Gonna make my my vegan refried beans with it. I love using those. If you remember those wraps that I got at Costco, the high fiber, high protein, low calorie, low salt ones. I love taking that with a cup of the refried beans, making burritos out of it. Good high protein, high fiber, good potassium too. So those are quick and easy. Maybe drizzle on some of my salsa, my homemade salsa, do that kind of thing. So those are fantastic. I made some that I froze, that I actually made a cheese sauce with my tofu, with some tofu, right? Tofu cheese sauce. That was just fantastic. I used it to make tofu mac and cheese. I think I mentioned that maybe in the last video or the one before that, where I made a tofu mac and cheese. Fantastic. I took some of it, smeared it on the tortilla, you know, on that wrap, put the beans, wrap them up. Oh God, that's just good stuff. High protein, low calorie, and just really good for you. I mean, relatively low calorie, but better yet, no salt. So, you know, I love the stuff from a taco shop, like Torchy's, much better, but you know, the salt in that stuff is just crazy, just absolutely crazy. I mean, to show you how crazy the difference is, a week ago, whatever it was, took my my bestie out for a couple beers for her birthday. Instead of going to Torchy's, because I did not want to eat anything that was going to have salt in it, so we went to a brewery in town called Frenzy. The place is really cool. The people that are working there are fantastic. It's the first time I'd ever been there. Don't go out to many breweries anymore, not like I used to when I owned one. But we went there, had several beers, and the next day I was on the scale. I was down 3 pounds. 3 pounds, yep. Gotta love that. I peed so much. And it just flowed right through me, absolutely right through me, because I didn't have any salt like I would if we would have went to Torchy's like we used to. So if we want to go out and have beers and stuff, that's just going to have to be how it'll be. Go somewhere that we can do that. And I don't eat. So I actually ate before I left. And ironically, I had chips and salsa. But I had those, I don't know how to pronounce them. I'll put up a picture of the bag here. But they have no salt ones. And so I had those with my salsa that I made. So very low sodium. Great dinner. Worked for me. Not the best when it comes to protein or anything, but it gives me that chips and salsa feel, you know, whenever I want it. So I love that. So hey, I am just rambling on as I always do at the end of a video. So many things that I could talk about if I just wanted to sit down here for about 4 hours, but hardly any of you would watch it. So I'm not going to do that because I don't want to bore you any more than I have. So if you've made it this far and you haven't already, let's do this. Would you please give me a thumbs up on this video? Share it with somebody who you think might need to see this. And if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do that. I would greatly appreciate it. So thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, and like I said, that next one's going to be exciting. So yeah, if you have any clue what I might be talking about, drop it in the comment below. If you just want to take a guess, just take a guess. I'd love to hear what your guesses are. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my journey to become a fat guy no more, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video.